And good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the NASDAQ 100 for Monday, March 28th, 2020. The rally did continue as I had expected, and we discussed last night on the update, but it exceeded 14,900 and it exceeded it by a fair amount. It's almost at 15,000. So I'm still working under the same premise. But let's update that picture. So initially yesterday, I presented that I had recounted and labeled what has taken place thus far down to the low at 12,942. And I have now labeled that as the completion point for the first intermediate wave one down. And that would suggest that we are in an intermediate wave two corrective bounce. And that bounce will consist of three waves of minor degree to be labeled A up, B down, C up. But we're still working on the A wave, which is ending up being its own five-wave structure. And now I'm going to drop down. So this all remains the same. Looking for that, what I have been able to do, and I'll go down to the hourly chart to better demonstrate that, is to put in some Fibonacci extensions for the fifth wave. Was satisfied that this was wave three, or the completion point for wave three, which was on last Tuesday, and that this is wave four, which was last Wednesday, and that we've actually been in this fifth wave all the way up. And again, as I had mentioned, that was the possible, could have been the completion point, but we drifted, came down, and we blasted right over and through that. So it makes more sense to consider that as 1, 2, and now we're at 3, possibly. Maybe we've done more. Where I'm going to let the market tell me. But in the meantime, I've put some projections up. So let's pull this open a little bit so we can see what the potential for a fifth wave is. And what the fifth wave, if there would be the entire thing, that would be off of the low at 14,004, let me get that right, 441. And so from that low, we began the minute fifth wave to complete this minor A wave. So the first leg up of that, a little bit larger, second corrective bounce. So now we're going to get the second leg of it. Well, actually, the second leg of it is going to be a down move. Once it's complete, which I'm not quite, it hasn't really stated. You know, I'm letting the market tell me, yep, we're done, and we're now going to go into a B wave. So I'm waiting for this completion of the A wave. Here are the limitations. So we have 382, which it's exceeded. That was at 14,928. So that came up. And that leaves open and gives us now the potential that we will break 15,000 and we'll head up towards 15,078. So we'll get a good ways up there if indeed this 50% level is going to hold it. And again, the measurement is that the fifth wave is compared to the third. So wave five would be equal to 50% of the length of wave three at 15,078. The 61.8% or 62%, but I'm very precise in the 618, comes in at 15,227. So we still have 300 points. Now, want to take a look at what essentially is fueling, because I say, wow, the NASDAQ is so bullish. It's like, yeah, but it's being selectively bullish in terms of the bulk of this advance or this add to the height and points is being provided by Tesla and Amazon, which of course are two stocks that, well, not actually, let me take that back. I spoke too soon. Amazon and Google have both announced that they're doing stock splits. Amazon continues now to climb, as we must be approaching the date, but Amazon was up 84. Amazon has a heavier weighting in the NASDAQ than I think most people would think. And to be exact, let me just kind of go and take a look at this today. And Amazon today had a 7.5% weighting in the NASDAQ 100. Microsoft, which was up 7, has a 10% weighting. Tesla has a 4.6% weighting. So between those three stocks, 21%, almost 22% of 226-point rally was coming from 3 stocks. And I haven't even added in NVIDIA, I've not added in Netflix. I've not, there are other stocks that were jumping, that were also moving pretty well today. Costco, it's only 1.8, but it's up $10. So there are a lot of larger companies or larger valued stocks that push pretty hard. So again, it's not a broad-based rally. It may feel like it. There's a lot of these larger or heavier priced into it is a $500 stock. Microsoft 311. Netflix 400, almost 400. NVIDIA almost 300. These are big stocks. And if Tesla then announced today that I guess the board has agreed to issue additional shares. Well, so the only way that they really can kind of provide that is to do another. So actually the market is believing we'll do another split. So Tesla will split again soon. Who knows? But the last time they announced a split, I can't remember exactly where it was, where it started, but it ended up above 2,800 and it got there real darn quick. And as it was flipping through hundreds of dollars, it was, you can imagine what that was adding to the NASDAQ itself. So that's the whole point of why I'm telling you that what is going on inside this index is when you look and go like, wow, it was up 226 points. And basically for most of the day, the Dow and the S&P and the Russell, in fact, the Russell still is down, were down on the day. So the S&P did catch up, and the S&P ended up very nicely, being up 33.75 right now. But still, I'm now trying to determine where can we expect this to end. And the reason I'm talking again about the splits is because it can extend it. It can extend this wave too. We have now maybe getting ready to enter into a B wave. So if we get a decent B wave here, which again is going to depend on how much selling we're going to see in Tesla and Amazon and a lot of these other stocks into it, how they're going to give it up. Microsoft, are you going to give it up on Microsoft? Apple ends up finally at the end of the day, they pump it up and they get it back above above 175. So, interesting trading day. So again, we're now working against the clock to the weekly expiration, which is going to happen on Friday. So there's a lot of trading opportunities that come within that time frame. We're already in this upward sloping move, and we're not done. And I'm not going to say that we are, but I am looking for the top of a fifth wave. Next step could easily be 15,078 to 15,227. Again, the market up being 225 today, being up that much. If we do 225 again tomorrow, we're above 15,100. So that is the speed at which the market is adding all of this to price. And that keeps the volatility pretty high. So there are a lot of components that could be providing some excellent trading opportunities in terms of different types of spreads, option spreads. But we're here to discuss the future, so my apologies. Again, for tomorrow now, I would suspect that I am looking for the start of a B wave. I need to get a firmer point of completion for this fifth wave so I can then measure out what some of the Fibonacci would be. And they're Fibonacci retracements, by the way, coming off. That would be what I would be looking for, but it's going to come off in 3, an A, B, C. It's going to come off in an A, B, C down. And I really would suspect that we could get it, could be hard, could be quick, but boom. I thought we were on the way today when the president announced that the corporate tax rate is going up to 28%. boom, they slammed the market real quick. And then, but sorry, we're on a mission from God, and we just, the buyers just stepped back in and took over, and like, we've been planning this for a while. Sorry, you guys will pay more taxes. We're buying your stock. Okay. In any case, I do suspect that we're going to continue to see higher prices. I would be looking for a move above 15,000 before we get that B wave. So I'm still looking for the end of wave 5 and this first A wave up, minor A wave. And then we're going to get a 3-wave B, and it's going to come in an ABC all on its own. So it could be sharp or it could be more flat. Yet to be determined. Right now, with the 2 big stocks, if they're still going to run on Tesla, thinking, well, we got the prospect of possibly an additional stock split. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, we're going to watch this all drop again. Okay, so to be seen or to be determined. In the meantime, look for additional upside, resistance coming in 15,000, of course, but then 15,078 and then 15,227. We'll have a few in between 15,125, 150, et cetera, but I believe we have a more solid chance of getting up here to complete wave 5. And then do a B wave down, and then do a C wave up. And that C wave then is likely, once I get the bottom, I'll be able to do it more cleanly, the bottom of wave B, that is. But we have, we have Fibonacci numbers now for a 5th wave, but actually I still can run it and use it in terms of what could be expected in the C wave. So we do an A wave, a B wave, and then what could be expected in the C wave. And we have higher levels. We have 15,306, 337, 440, 639, 711. That's only when wave 5 would be equal to wave 3 at 15,711. And it's possible. So things could get pretty heated up here. And again, what I will not look for here is for it to break above 16,767. And I believe that it feels also to me that the market understands that as well. So when in fact this is being limited to a handful of big, large cap stocks, tech stocks, then there's going to be opportunities, and we need to pay attention to the Russell. If the Russell continues to decline against these rallies, then you're seeing that the money's leaving the mid caps and coming into 4 or 5 large caps, whatever. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. We don't need to keep going and going and going. So again, even on the downside, I'm not looking for major here. I would think we get 382 to 618, somewhere in there on a pullback. Wherever it ends, then I'm going to be looking for these lower levels, 740, possibly. We got the 50 down there right below or right above it at 743. Logical place. And it's not going to look like much. We've got this huge rally, and that's what I'm going to correct in a B wave. So we could be dropping back here. A lot of strange things can be happening. So again, and that would be a B wave. So the volatility is going to remain. Once we get the high, then I'll be able to put the fibs in. And it's not a guarantee that it will go there because of the market being led by Amazon, which is a reason that they're jumping in and buying that, and by Tesla, which maybe have as a reason for why they're stepping in and buying it. Apple, same deal. Apple now is in play via the options. The options are premium sits in the calls. You can do the math. So I'm going to leave it all there. Next update will be on Tuesday, the 29th.